Most people think men become quieter as they get older because they have less to say. But the truth is usually the opposite. Many older men are quiet not because they know less, but because they understand more. They have seen more, experienced more, lost more. And over time, something inside them changes. Conversations that once felt important start feeling meaningless. Arguments that once felt urgent begin to feel pointless. And slowly, many men begin speaking less. But what most people don't realize is that this silence is not random. It is the result of several lessons life teaches men over time. Lessons that are often painful, lessons that are rarely explained, and once you understand them, you start seeing quiet men very differently. Because the first reason many men become quieter with age is something life teaches them about people. When men are younger, they often believe honesty will be appreciated. They believe effort will be noticed. They believe loyalty will be returned. And sometimes it is. But life eventually shows them a more complicated reality. Not everyone values honesty. Not everyone respects effort. And loyalty is rarer than most young men expect. Over time, many men experience misunderstandings, conflicts, betrayals, or situations where their words are twisted or misinterpreted. And after enough of those experiences, something shifts. They begin realizing that speaking more does not always create better outcomes. Sometimes it simply creates more problems. So they start choosing their words more carefully, and eventually, they begin choosing silence more often. But that is only part of the story. Because another reason men become quieter as they age has nothing to do with people. It has to do with priorities. When you are young, proving yourself feels important. You want to show others what you believe. You want to win arguments. You want recognition, respect, validation, and that often leads to endless debates, disagreements, conversations where everyone is trying to prove they are right. But after years of experience, many men begin to notice something interesting. Winning arguments rarely improves their lives. It rarely solves real problems. And it almost never changes people's minds. So instead of fighting every disagreement, they begin asking themselves a different question. Is this conversation actually worth my energy? And surprisingly often, the answer is no. That realization changes the way many men communicate. They stop reacting to every opinion. They stop correcting every mistake they hear. They stop explaining themselves to people who are not truly listening. And from the outside, that looks like silence, but inside, it is often clarity. Because life has taught them something many people learn much later. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every disagreement deserves attention. And not every person deserves access to your mind. But perhaps the most powerful reason men grow quieter over time has nothing to do with conflict. It has to do with observation. When men are younger, they are often focused on action, building careers, chasing goals, trying to create the future they imagine. But as the years pass, many men begin observing life differently. They notice patterns in people. They recognize behaviors they have seen before. They understand how certain conversations will end long before they begin. And because of that awareness, they become more selective about when they speak. Sometimes silence becomes a form of wisdom, because speaking less allows them to see more, to understand more, to listen more carefully. And listening, over time, teaches lessons that talking never could. But there is another truth about quiet men that most people misunderstand. Silence does not mean absence of emotion. In fact, many quiet men feel things very deeply. They simply learn that expressing everything they feel is not always helpful. Life teaches them patience, restraint, perspective, and those qualities often look like distance to people who do not understand them. But beneath that quiet exterior is often a man who has simply learned which things truly matter and which things do not. Because the older many men become, the more they begin protecting something very valuable, their peace. They realize that constant noise, arguments, and drama drain their energy. So they begin building boundaries. Not always loudly, not aggressively, but quietly. They invest their attention in fewer conversations, fewer relationships, fewer distractions. And while their world may appear smaller, it often becomes more meaningful. Because the conversations they do have are deeper, more honest, more intentional. But here is the most important part. Becoming quieter is not necessarily about withdrawing from life. It is about becoming more intentional with it. The men who learn this lesson do not stop communicating. They simply stop speaking without purpose. They choose conversations that matter, people who matter, moments that matter, and everything else becomes background noise. So if you have ever wondered why some men grow quieter as they age, it is not always sadness, it is not always distance, and it is rarely weakness. Sometimes it is simply what happens when experience replaces impulse, when observation replaces reaction, and when wisdom begins guiding what a man chooses to say and what he chooses to leave unsaid. Because in the end, quietness is not always the absence of voice. Sometimes it is the presence of understanding.